there is the issue of internally generated revenue. States will be able to do a lot better when they can muster significant funds by way of internally generated revenue. What have you done in this area? Have you been able to move up the capacity of the state to generate internal revenue?
Yes, I have. I've moved it up, but it's not as successful as in other areas. I tried all kinds. I introduced all different systems. I made an annual revenue that is not up to 800 million, if I'm correct. I don't have the data in my front here. But we are hitting about 6 billion plus 7 thereabout annually. So it has dramatically gone very much up. But we're not there yet. One thing I'll tell you is that Taraba State, the quantum of food that is going out of this state, if we can get 1/10 of the tax, it will be more than the 6 billion or 7 billion we're getting. Yes. But I have serious problems. I've changed consultants more than 6, 7. Because they come in the beginning, they'll start very well, then they chicken out. They become bad. I remove them and put them. So now I'm trying to, I got somebody recently, he told me he has the device whereby they can be able to tax people more accurately, especially in terms of this food. You can't believe it, that during harvest like now, these traders that are moving our rice, our cassava, this, you go and check the movement in the account is more than 500 million. Yeah. And you find out from them, they are not paying 1 kobo tax. So we have to devise a means in order to be able to tax them. Because that is a large quantum of money moving between the buyer and the seller. And if I don't have the facilities for them here, they won't be making that money. I give them free fertilizer every year, free herbicide every year. I send choppers and this to kill their grasshopper and all these things when there is what do you call them, coming to eat the locusts and so forth. So if I'm doing that and I'm not benefiting as government, then something too is wrong with me. So I am trying my best now to see if I can be able to get that. That is agriculture. Mining is the worst. Just last week, I had to order for the arrest of a Chinese man who is in Nigeria without passport, who has been in the field in one bush mining safari. So tell me, are we so porous? I don't know. I can't go to China without a passport. But they're here. Some are mining tantalite and so forth. If I can be able to get to a manner I can tax those that are solid minerals that are mining, that is another avenue for me to earn money on the federal government. All these combined two, mining, agriculture, cannot meet up with tourism if we are able to develop tourism. But how do you develop tourism when you don't have peace? Who will visit your site when they will kidnap him? Who will visit your site when they will kill him? Who will visit your site when he hears that they have murdered 11 people yesterday? Nobody will come there. They murdered 11 people in Manga yesterday. And that is lying by the Kashmir Dam. If you go there, it's one of the beautiful sites in this country. There was a time I was coming to land. I told the pilot, please don't land yet. Can you take me and circle round and let me see? And 2 days later, I got someone to carry me on the jeep. We went up to the mountain with this mountain jeep. It's a beautiful place, a beautiful sight. But if you put a motel there, or a golf course there, or a swimming whatever there, who will come there? When he knows that some people will come and kidnap them or kill them. So peace is necessary for me to harvest the thought potential that is tourism.
And that takes me to the novel idea that you came up with in respect of the water scheme. The attempt to turn that place to a tourist destination, complete with amphitheater, discotheque, restaurants, and other places. How did you come up with this idea? Did you borrow this idea from anywhere, or the creative juice of the architect you simply?
Water is under my top priority. Now, what I did, if I may rewind backwards, you see this rescue agenda. I produced this one 15 days after my sorry. And what comes inside this rescue agenda is a small, tiny book, just about 20 pages. But there are pictures of what I met on ground when I was campaigning in 2014, 2015. And I move with journalists like this. They keep saying, why are you snapping photographs? I say, so that I'll remember what is happening when the time comes. They say, how do you know you will be a governor? I say, God will make me a governor. This one is children
under the tree.
Unfortunately, the tree has not fallen. So they are under a tree with sun beating them. So I wonder why. That is what attracted me to say they should take this photograph. Why is he putting these children under a tree when that tree has no leaves to give them shade? Now, we are talking about water. This woman was fetching water and taking turns with some pigs. The pig is on the background, somewhere here. And this is a water like spring water is coming from the ground. So when she has taken like 1-2 buckets, the pig will come and hit her on the bottles. She will give them chance. And then she will drink, the children will drink. Then she will come and beat them too with her bucket. They will go and stand and wait. They were taking turns. And I knew that my people have problem with water. And as I speak to you, we have sunk more than 2,000 plus boreholes, over 2,200 to 300 across the state. So water was my priority. The hand pump. There are those that with solar panels, but majorly the hand pump.
Yes.
Having known that water is a problem, I decided I must do it around the state. When I resumed here, there was no water in Jalingo town for over a year. Yes. And unfortunately for this city, it's lying on the very, very poor basement that there is no water underground. You see so many rivers now because the rains is just receding now. But come here after 2 months or so, all those big bridges you see across, there will be no water flowing again. It just ceases. So it tells you there is a runoff from the rains, from the hills that are coming down that passes. But underground, nowhere you have water. We only, when I decided that we must have water in this town, We only got the point where we'll get water to draw water from only one point. And that was got from a consultant that had retired about 90 years. He's, I think, in Israel. We had to trace him to get the proposal he submitted when they created the state. And he gave us the detail. And when we went there and struck exact position of it, we got water. Now, the one you are seeing outside physically, those, the one, yes, on the mountain, is one of the overhead tanks. And it's sitting on the 15-story rock. And for me as an architect, I'm having a 15-story. That's where I needed to put the tank to give me pressure with water. And now we decided to raise it up and put the tank. So I felt I have about over 10 meters empty. What do I do? So I became more creative. I span it as a wing. The water is there. I put discotheque below. Restaurant 1, restaurant 2, restaurant 3.
The VIP lounge.
The VIP lounge. If you go, they haven't finished it, but it's a fantastic work already coming out. Now from that, down from the 15 floors, down like this, we are going to have amphitheater all the way down. So that when I come to campaign next, I'll be there. I don't need to rent anywhere. I'll make noise and pay them under the water. So, and it has now, it's going to be, of course, a touristic site. Those buildings you see under there, we're all going to turn it to an arts shop where people can buy like this Sankara, buy the type of my dress, the one we locally sew, buy that, the whole of those shops, the ones on ground, you see it with red roof. Those ones, that's what they will say. So that it becomes a touristic site. And then, of course, it gives us revenue. We rent out these places, people have it. And during holidays, you can be sure that that will be a fun town.
Especially with the discotheque.
And the restaurant.
Yes. We go around to see some road projects. And here you are expanding Federal Road from mile 6 up to after the airport.
After NYC, the Joro, you know. Joro.
Do you expect to be reimbursed? Having been warned not to expect reimbursement, why are you focusing on these federal roads?
Well, let me briefly tell you that apart from being an architect, I'm also an urban and regional town planner. So one of the first things I did here when I arrived was to engage a reputable American company called BCG so that they could quickly put up a regional and master plan for me. They did. So the roads that are in my state here, the roads you see me building, they are the key roads that are bringing the produce of the farmers from the outside to the cities. Each of those roads, I can tell you where they lead to and where they will end up to. Now, I agree with you, it's our road. It's a federal road, but it's my people that are using it. If you're a leader, you have to think, is it, okay, you are not using this road. Let's take Baisa from Mararaba. When I went for campaign, it took us almost 5 hours, a distance less than 80 kilometers. That road was built, I think, in 1942. You can count the culverts. You can know that they are putting even the dates of renovation of the culverts. When those days of old of PW. Now, They have not put asphalt. It's less than 40 minutes. No asphalt. I'm sure by the time they put the asphalt, it will be like 30 minutes. Now, Kurumi local government is the only local government, about 2 of them, that I sent trailer loads of fertilizer when I resumed here, and it was returned.
You don't need it.
So I was asking why. I said, we don't need fertilizer here. But that will help your crop grow. No, he said, it would not help our crop grow. I said, why? They said, okay, you see maize. Maize will just grow like this tall without carrying any cob. I said, why? They say the soil itself is fertile enough. So when you add, then the maize will just grow tall and no cob there. You will not get any maize seedlings. So they just plant like that and harvest. And they plant 4 times a year because it's naturally fertile.
They plant maize 4 times.
Yes, yes.
Just.
So you find in such places, what do? These are your people. They are leaving your state. You know the problem. You know that they are one of those producing the highest quantity of food. And for years, they are told that this road is federal road. And nobody has been there to visit them. I said, we'll put the federal aside. I started the job. I borrowed money. Yes. They won't reimburse me. Yes. But at least my people are happy. When I went to Yola for a different program, I thought I'm done for the day. When I came, the whole place was filled up. I said, in Jalingo, I'm not resting. And then in Yola, they said there are people that are resident in Yola. And who are they? They are all from Kurumi to say thank you. Because they never believed they will get a road in their lifetime. If you go to the south, Ukari to Sukundi, all the yams you're talking about comes from that axis. All the grains comes from that axis. They have finished that one. If you go to Lecheki to Pantisawa, Mararaba Lecheki to Pantisawa, yes. The sweetest yam in this country is got from there. The biggest yam is got from there. I'm yet to find out that reason. But I think because the soil is unique and the weather is slightly cold. But if you eat their yams, you will never eat any yam in Lagos again. You'll be ordering from here.
I saw their yams.
So you have to weigh the benefits vis-a-vis the sufferings. Do I let my people suffer because it's a federal road? Or do I do it for my people to be happy and improve their livelihood because these roads are necessary for them? I choose A. If the federal government reimburses, fine. If it doesn't, at least I've made something for my people. They're happy. I've reduced their pains. I've boosted their income.